I'm holding guitar here, and it's been the most reliable thing in my entire life. Tempo and music seems to be the only constant that I can carry in my life, and I'll start at the beginning where that kind of started. So I've had a really great childhood. It's my mom and dad, and I've got a little brother who's a little hellion, but he's amazing. He's now bigger than me and can grow way better sideburns and all that fun stuff. He's tanned, and which is awesome. But growing up, we did everything together. We shared everything, bike rides, and I used to throw pears at him, and he'd still love me, and it was amazing. You could pick on him and different things like that. Back when I was smaller than him. Well, I'm still smaller than him, but I was bigger than him then. But yeah, we had the most amazing childhood growing up, and our parents used to take us down to the States. We had a trailer down there, and we go down there every weekend, pretty much from growing up, like till our mid-teens. And yeah, we fishing and biking and different things, and take us down there. My parents would take us down there in the wintertime, and we'd GT snow race. I don't know if that dates how old I am, but the GT snow racer is like a really cool toboggan. I don't know if you guys even have those anymore. But yeah, it was a really amazing childhood. And growing up, my early childhood, growing up, I'd always wake up in the morning to Motown being blasted in the house, and just going downstairs and seeing my mom skipping around the house cleaning. Anytime Motown would come on, my mom was cleaning. So it's this weird thing. Anytime I hear Motown now, I just want to clean at it. It's really weird. But it's so true. But it's amazing. This one particular day, there wasn't any Motown playing, and I thought that was kind of crazy. So I went downstairs. I'm like, "Hey, Ma, what's going on?" She's, "Oh, I'm just cleaning, son, just cleaning." Okay. So go on with my day, and I was just turned 11. I was 10, turning 11, and yeah, me and my brother playing, and he's playing with GI Joes and doing all this cool stuff. And I used to go down there and put it all together for him, and then wreck it, and he'd set it up again. And Army guys, and my brother's in the military now, so it's kind of ironic that we used to play with Army stuff, and he's a sergeant now at Special Forces. But this particular day, my mom asked me to come upstairs to the living room. We had a lower basement, was a playroom, and a big, huge box of toys. Like, it was bigger than us. We were so blessed with being kids with growing up. And yeah, my mom asked me to come upstairs, and my dad was sitting there and having a beer. And cool, I'm like, "Hey, Dad, how's it going?" And my mom's like, "Hey, Corey, we need you to sit down, and how you doing?" I'm like, "Good, Mom. 10. Got my Nike runners on." I'm like, "What's up?" I wasn't allowed to wear them in the house, but because they were new, I was. So it was a good day. But yeah, so I'm like, "So what's going on?" And sit down, Corey. They got me a glass of juice, and I was sitting there, and my mom and dad were like, "Corey, we love you." I'm like, "I love you too, Mom. I love you too, Dad." I'm smiling because that's just me. I'm just that way. And my dad, he's like, "Corey, I love you." And I'm like, "I love you too, Dad." And my mom's like, "I love you, Corey." I'm like, "I love you too, Mom. We need to talk to you about something." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, I wasn't that rough with my brother, like, I might have knocked him down a couple of times earlier that day, but I figured I'd get in trouble or something. But my dad said, "Corey, I love you." I'm like, "I love you too, Dad." He's got a big mustache, and he's fixing his mustache, and he says, "Corey, I'm not your real father." And I'm like, "What? What?" I'm like, I do this. I'm like, "I'm not going to get a mustache." It's right, but it's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? How do you even? Whatever. It's a joke, right? There's no way, right? And my mom said, "Corey, no, your father was killed on a motorcycle when you were 2 months old." And I'm still, like, really? Are you? How do you? What do you mean, really? Like, I'm like, Corey, have you ever thought about why your last name is different? Cory Cruise. Weird. My dad's last name is Obi, and my little brother's last name is Obi. So really weird. I'm like, I never thought about it. My world was like just shattered in a way, so I kind of didn't really know how to take it. And they explained it, and it was a motorcycle accident after my dad just came home from work. He recently got hired at General Motors in St. Catharines, and he was there for I think he was there for 9 months or so. And came home from work and just got this brand new, that was used, but it was a brand new to him, blue Triumph motorcycle. And got home from work, wheeled it out of the garage, went inside, bounced my mom on his knee, and was like, "Hon, I'll be right back." And took off to GM again and started it up for the first time, and took off on his first rip down the parking lot. And at that time in St. Catharines, there was no stop signs. and one of the blue parts trucks came out, and he ran into the side of it while I guess a witness said looking down, and killed him instantly. So, being I hate reliving this, but it's like it's like your whole life is you think it's a certain way, and something as crazy tragic like that happens. As you've heard even earlier, like the shock and everything kind of takes over your brain. And I'm sure we've all had moments like this. But I went upstairs crying like I'm not gonna say I've never cried like that, but I've cried like that quite a few times because of that now. And just sitting on my bed, I had bunk beds at the time, just to paint the picture, and I'm just sitting there, and I look over at my closet, and there sat a guitar like I've never noticed before. Like my whole life, I've had this guitar apparently sitting in my closet, and I never even noticed it before. And I'm like, wow. So I'm sitting there bawling my eyes. I go and I pick it up, and I lighten the mood a bit here. It had the G string on it. Really? Who named it the G string? It's so silly, but so sad. But like, yeah, I literally picked it up and started playing, jamming along on it. Figured out how to sit with it, and I got up and I turned on the radio and I started jamming along to the radio with one string. And I'm definitely wasn't amazing or anything, but it was, I'm playing the vocal parts along with the with the music, right? So my mom and dad came in, and Corey, are you okay? And and I'm bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, look, Mom, I think I just taught myself how to play guitar. And my mom gave me this big hug. And from that moment, that this was really the only thing I could trust, because like I knew my parents my whole life, and like that's not my dad. Like I've always called you dad. It's so weird. Like maybe you do look different a little bit, and my brother is definitely different, and like it's so crazy. But I literally wrote this song. Words came. I was cutting grass then. I was very outgoing, and I guess go getter, I guess you'd say. So when I was like 11, I was making like $200. I was making like $200 a week, pretty much cutting grass. And some people were paying me $8. So you guys can add that up. It's kind of crazy. So I basically learned how to string up the guitar and wrote this song. And I didn't know how to write songs, and I just I wanted to write something that was for me and my real dad and my dad. Like I needed something to, I don't know, like what was he thinking the last time he held me? Like it's such a crazy concept, and we're all so blessed. Everybody that's kids, and we're all blessed to be here in this very moment, and I'm so appreciative of everybody here. How about a round of applause for everybody being here today in this moment? Yeah. So I named the song "Late April," and he was killed in late April, and I wrote this song from what maybe his view would have been with me, and then the second verse, it's kind of like how I feel kind of now.